Okay, today we start with a Hyper-V. So, what is Hyper-V? How to install Hyper-V in a 2019? Okay, server directly. I'm not showing any Hyper-V direct Hyper-V kind of stuff. How to access Windows 10? How to do in a Windows 10? I will try if possible. So, like that. Okay. So, important things of Hyper-V is first one is what is Hyper-V? Okay, and in Windows Server installation in Windows Server, okay, 2019 or 2016 or 2012, all are same only, three same type of installations. Okay, and Windows 10 or Windows 8 8.1. So I will tell the details of Windows Hyper-V, then we'll see. Okay, installation is important. Prerequest. What are the things you have to check before you are installing? So prerequest to install Hyper-V. Okay, installation of Hyper-V. Next, creating virtual machine. Creating a virtual machine. Network management. Network switches are there. Virtual switches. Network virtual switches are there. Network virtual switches are there. We know already virtual hard disk. We know already virtual hard disk. We know already. Okay. So fixed disk, dynamic disk, kind of stuff. If anything small things are available, just I will try to show you. That's a few more, one or two options are there. I will show you. That's it. I will tell about a Hyper-V. Anything like moving, exporting, cold migration, live migration. So any other details I will explain. Guys, this will covers. So some points in like this network virtual such as NIC, teaming, that kind of concepts also. Okay, network virtualization also will cover here. Storage virtualization, virtual hard disk kind of stuff I covered yesterday in a virtual hard disk manner. Okay, so this will also will cover here in a Hyper-V. Okay, so that's I will explain. We'll start with what is Hyper-V. What are the conditions required for installing Hyper-V? Hyper-V is a hypervisor platform. What is hypervisor means? It's a virtualization platform. Hyper-V is a hypervisor, which is nothing but a virtualization platform. Okay, it's a hypervisor, which is hypervisor is nothing but a virtualization platform. V server 2012 or 2012 or 2. Okay, 2012, 2016 or 2019 or a core Hyper-V. Meaning is no Windows Server OS. Meaning is no roles and normal Windows Server features you won't get it anything. Okay, like a DHCP, DNS, Active Directory, domain services. Okay, web server, WDS, WSUS. You won't get any roles. Only you will get a pure Hyper-V server. Next. Okay, next. Also, we'll get a Hyper-V. You can get a Hyper-V as a role or a feature in Windows as a feature. It is a Microsoft related one. First of all, Hyper-V belongs to Hyper-V is for from Microsoft. So here it is. Look like when this Hyper-V is available in Windows Server 2008 x64. Why specifically I have to tell 64 here? So why? Because of Windows Server 2008 having 32-bit, 64-bit. 2003 32-bit, 64-bit. Okay, so 2008 server 64-bit is there. Full GUI mode 64-bit. You have to install. You may get a Hyper-V. So you have to check when you are getting Hyper-V is there. Now it is 2008 anyway. We are not using 2008 R2. By default it is 64. By default it is 64. 2012 R2 also 64 only. There are not a 32-bit, 64-bit is not there here. From here onwards, no 32-bit part. Okay, only 64, pure 64 kind of stuff. 2022 is also released, but we are not using. That's why I'm not telling. Otherwise, you can put a. We are not yet started using. So Hyper-V as a role in this kind of stuff. Next, in a Windows as a built-in feature, Windows 8. Some people said it is already there in a Windows 7, introduced in a Windows 7, but exactly I don't know why Hyper-V is there or not. 8.1 Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise. Meaning is it not there in a home edition. It is not there in a home edition. Okay, that is the thing. Next, here it is 64-bit OS and a 32-bit in a Windows 8. So Windows 8 or Windows 10, you may have a 64-bit or a 32-bit. If you have a 64-bit, it is good. If you have a 32-bit, maybe problem will occur. So we'll see. If you having a Windows 64-bit, okay, so you will get a possible. Okay, so possible like this. Hyper-V platform means virtualization platform, and Hyper-V manager. Hyper-V manager is like a console. Okay, it's like a console type. Like we have a server manager, right? Like a Hyper-V manager is try to interact with the virtual machines, to create a virtual machine, to access remote virtual machines, like that. But if in case if you are using a 32-bit, so 32-bit, the difference between 32-bit and 64-bit, here it is. Okay, you will get a Hyper-V manager only. You won't get a Hyper-V platform. So point is, in a 64, you can create and run VMs in the PC, laptop, system, whatever the name it is. In the PC means, for example, I have a laptop. In my laptop, I am running a virtual machine. It means virtual machine consuming my CPU, my RAM, my disk space only. Okay, the virtual machine consuming or using or utilizing my laptop resources only. So that is in the PC. Okay, so in a 32-bit, we have only Hyper-V manager. Means we can manage VMs. We can manage. Okay, manage which is located located in remote server. It's located in remote server means I have a server in I have server Hyper-V server is there, or maybe other Windows 10 machine is there, maybe somewhere it is running. So I can manage it from my machine, okay, using Hyper-V Manager. So work of Hyper-V Manager is manage the virtual machines. Manage virtual machine means you can able to create a virtual machine. You can run, monitor, you can monitor, okay. So all the things, but we cannot run in your PC. The PC. You can't run the machines in the PC. So guys, so this is the few points. So where in the futures 32-bit, 64-bit kind of stuff, where the feature is there, where we will get it. So again, here it is Hyper-V Manager. In a Hyper-V Manager, you can manage the virtual machines. Remember, Hyper-V Manager manage Hyper-V servers or hosts. Different names are there, guys. Okay, so I got this kind of problem. Okay, telling different names because of, you know, I have a lot of suffered with the people. Even the small change is little different. So like I told server. Someone asked a question, host. Sir, it is a server, host. Is it the same? Is it different? These kind of things. That's what I tell. So almost all everything is the words are same only. Meaning is different, but still the way of representing something is same. It is like a representation of person and a people like that. Okay, so it's a person, people, candidate. In different situations, different kind of word we use it. Okay, so here it is. Hyper-V is a Microsoft product. Okay, Hyper-V is a Microsoft product. Okay, Hyper-V is a virtualization platform. We create and run virtual machines in it. Okay. Okay, so we create, run virtual machine. So how many virtual machines? That's the limitation I will tell. Okay, and Hyper-V is direct Hyper-V core is still available in a 12 version, 16 version, or a 19 version kind of stuff. Hyper-V role and features wise it is available. Okay, important star mark here it is. Important star mark I will put it here for not disturbing content. Is not a application, guys. You can't download Hyper-V from internet or from Microsoft website or anything. Okay, some people think in a pro it is available, in a pro it is available, so why not there in a home? Because in home it is not providing that feature. Okay, so some people, no problem, you can download it. It is there in a YouTube, it is there in there. I know Hyper-V is not there in a home from Windows 8 onwards, almost like a from 6 years onwards, or Windows 8. When I got this laptop, almost like a 14, 13 or 14, 14 onwards, I know. Okay, at least I know there is a Hyper-V not there in a 8. I tried everything that time only. Okay, even though in a Windows 10 there is a option called a virtualization kind of stuff. Look at here, guys. Programs and features. appwiz.cpl. appwiz.cpl. If you go to appwiz.cpl, in the left side you can see turn Windows features on or off. Can you able to see this one? Turn Windows features on or off. Here it is. This is your application to uninstall the application part. But here it is, turn Windows on or off. This is updates. Can you see turn Windows on or off? Turn Windows feature on or off. Guys. 11 people. No one is telling. It's a small screen. Now at least can you able to see this one? I can't put a zoom. Even though if I put a zoom, you can't see anything. If I put a maximizer kind of stuff. Guys, can you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then why are people are not telling anything? Screen is clear. Can you able to see the screen? Control panel I open.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Then what
Yes,
happened?
sir.
Guys, if you are really not interested, no problem. Tell me, then we can do it some other time. You can ask anybody, like no one will teach these many things. Not many things. It is there in the syllabus. A simple ask: do you can you able to see this thing or not? Turn Windows feature on or off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, when you click it, these are the features, built-in features of Windows operating system. You can see it is SMB, okay, SMB, like a sharing related one. Like you have a Linux, Windows mixture part, you want to share and kind of stuff. For a client and server purpose, you can be like this, SMB sharing kind of stuff. Telnet client. So you can see virtualization platform, Windows hypervisor platform. These options are there. Just options are there, but there is no manager. Okay. So in a Windows thing, work folder client, Windows subsystem for Linux. This is used for a Docker. This is used for a Docker installation. Identity for foundation. Okay, these are the features. In generally, I will share a document. Maybe you can see I already shared a document. There you can find how to install a Hyper-V in a Windows 10. Same thing in this one only you can find Hyper-V platform kind of stuff. Okay. So that is a feature in this one. So again, I am telling Hyper-V is not a application. It's not a application. You can't download a Hyper-V directly from internet kind of stuff or CD, DVD, nothing is there. It is a inbuilt-in feature or a role in Windows servers and Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10 Pro and Enterprises. In a home, you don't get a Hyper-V. If you have a 64-bit, you will get a Hyper-V platform and Hyper-V manager. So you can able to create and run virtual machine in your local PC. Okay, means virtual machines consumes your local machines. If you get only Hyper-V manager, the duty of Hyper-V manager is manage Hyper-V servers and host virtual machines. Okay. Virtual machine, their network, their disk, you can able to do it. Please. Sorry. Okay. So virtual machine things. Now we'll see any details we have. Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, that's the point. Last point is here. I will give you a break. Then I will show you how to install. Okay. So here it is. Minimum requirement to install Hyper-V roller feature in Windows Server or a Windows desktop. Desktop means 8, 8.1 kind of stuff. Along with the OS, I'm talking here in a along with the OS. Guys, anybody tell minimum requirements of installing Windows Server? Minimum
1 GB processor,
1 GB processor,
1 GB, 2 GB RAM,
yes. 1 gigahertz processor,
2 GB RAM,
1 gigahertz or 1.4 gigahertz for a server. We are talking in a 64-bit manner, so RAM
2 GB,
2 GB compulsory.
hard disk 60 GB,
Hard disk is 16 or 20. Take it 32 GB. Why we need 64-bit, right? So the minimum requirements to install for a Windows server or a Windows desktop, that to 64-bit. Okay, Windows desktop 64-bit. Windows server, our new servers only, either it is like 2019 or 2016. Okay, so here it is Windows desktop means Windows 10. So anything, just you can take it. So Windows 10 1 gigahertz, server 1.4 gigahertz, no problem. Anyway, we are getting more than 2.6 gigahertz, 2.3, 2.4 gigahertz, no problem in that one. RAM is 2 GB, minimum 32 GB, normally 32 GB because of it is a 64-bit. But here it is for Hyper-V, for installing Hyper-V, first requirement in a RAM, the RAM wise it is plus 2 GB is required. Okay, RAM is 2 GB plus 2 GB is required. Meaning is, for example, I'm having a Windows 10. My RAM is, I put a RAM is my in my system my requirement is 2 GB RAM only. So additionally I need a 2 GB RAM. Additionally I need a 2 GB RAM. So totally we required 4 GB for Windows 10. Okay. To run a Hyper-V. So if you have a Windows 10 with 2 GB, can you install a Hyper-V? Yes, you can able to install it, but you cannot do anything with it because of 2 B is a minimum. Okay. For example, some laptops are the last time the people are asking me, sir, my laptop is 4 GB RAM. It is only 1 GB is available. Only available is 1 GB only. So in that one, better not to go with the virtualization concept. Okay. So means 4 GB laptop, 1 GB available means 3 GB already consuming. So it means at least you require 5 GB. At least you require a 5 GB there. So 3 GB for your laptop, 2 GB Hyper-V. Okay. 6 GB is required. So plus 2 GB means what is your system, how much system requirements by other services and your operating system, plus 2 GB for Hyper-V. So additional 2 GB for Hyper-V. Same goes for a Windows 10 also. Sorry, Windows Server also. For example, 2019 I am taking. This also already I am using 2 GB minimum and you required 2 GB. So 4 GB is required. So luckily guys, people who are having a very less RAM capacity, no need to do practical. No need to do practical. Just you can look at it, or maybe you can try to install it. No problem with 1 GB also you can try to install it, but don't do more hard on it. Okay? Don't do more hard on it. Okay? Requirement is this a hardware RAM requirement I discussed, but other requirements we didn't discuss. Okay? Other requirements we didn't discuss, that is SLAT. Okay, secondary level address translation. What is this secondary address translation? Okay, in BIOS or UEFI, whatever it is you have. Okay, so virtualization technology must be enabled. Okay, must be enabled. Okay, mostly we have a nowadays we have a 64-bit, so we got a UEFI by default. Okay, UEFI by default. Okay, you can look at here, there is a overview kind of stuff, but look at systeminfo.exe, scroll down, Hyper-V requirement selection to review the report. So VM monitor mode extension yes. Okay, VM virtualization in firmware is yes. Secondary level address translation is yes. Data execution prevention is available yes. So these 4 things are there or not, please check it. So how to go for it? So go to CMD. In the CMD, put a command called systeminfo.exe and you have to wait. Okay, it is loading entire your system information. So in a bottom itself you can see lot of things are showing here. Okay, about your system name. Okay, your operating system. Okay, your operating system version and build versions. Okay, standalone workstation type of. Okay, multi-processor free Windows user. Okay, Lenovo company, boot time, one processor is installed, what type of family it is. So where is your operating system? What is your total memory? Available physical memory, virtual memory. Okay, virtual memory like a swap in a Linux. In Windows we have a page file.sys, page files, virtual memory. Some other information about NIC cards from NIC cards. What is your IP address kind of stuff also it is showing. So last one is Hyper-V requirements. You must check it here. Okay, so VM monitor mode extension. Also check these things are there or not. So by go to CMD, the CMD you can put it in your system, in physical system also you can do it, info.exe. So you'll get a lot of information. In bottom you can see VM monitor mode extension, yes. Virtualization enabled in firmware, yes. Intel virtualization, that one is there now, that is yes. Secondary level address translation, yes. Data execution prevention is available, yes. So this is also must be required. Okay, so you can see it is at least 64 GB is required. UEFI virtualization must be enabled, that kind of stuff. Whether it is enabled, not enabled, you can able to check it from here. Okay, if you want to check, go to this link. You can find Microsoft documents. Then you can write. Okay, so this is a shielded virtual machine for protecting your virtualization. So shielded virtualization machines. This new feature is introduced in 2016. Okay, shielded virtual machines. You want to get it, so you require a few kind of. So these virtual machines rely on a Windows-based security. So it is are available starting with the Windows Server 2016. We shielded virtual machine kind of stuff. Okay, hardware requirement, UEFI support is required because of UEFI will provide a secure boot kind of stuff. Okay, following two options are general but required. What it is showing so many things. Next one is TPM, IOMMU kind of stuff. Okay. Leave it. So don't worry about it. Someone put a message. Okay, Pravalika joined. Very good. Mayur and Manoj, why these people, two people? Usually, most of us are regular, right? Okay. So again, guys, plus 2 GB requirement. What is your system currently consuming? So based on that, plus 2 GB is free space is required for a Hyper-V install and running. But again, virtual machine, depending upon virtual machines, you require to extend the virtual machines. Okay, so here it is. You can see 4 GB RAM minimum requirement. Secondary address translation is required, and also you can check in your task manager. Okay, so again we know this one just for a recollection purpose. Go click on CPU, go to virtualization, click on enabled. Click on enable. Okay, check the enabled. Meaning is your virtualization is enabled. If it is not enabled, go to Nitesh is also present. I know this. Already I done Nitesh. Okay. Okay. So that is virtualization technology in the BIOS must be enabled. Already we know how to enable that feature. So you can go to BIOS or UEFI. So you can enable the feature. Next, how to check whether it is enabled or not. One thing I showed as a in a task manager, but in otherwise is also you can see, go to CMD system info.exe. It generated report and you can see there whether it is enabled or not, like this. Okay, guys. So yeah, these are the basic things. Okay. Sometimes you'll get a one more column, so I will tell that column. if you are having a mixed kind of virtualization. Go to control panel. Okay, guys, in my laptop, I have a VMware workstation. I'm working with the VMware workstation. So for virtualization platform utilization, in my credentials, it is given to my VMware workstation because I'm working with a from long period of time. Okay, long period of time. Sometimes, so you got a like a Windows 10 Pro now, Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise, and you are using VMware workstation. Now you want to know install a Hyper-V in it. Now it will throw an error. It will throw an error. Okay. So why it is throwing an error? Because of this credential guard. Because of this credential guard. Credential guard is verify the user identity and service identity and which services, which one you are using. Based on that, it will maintain your things, your user accounts, Microsoft accounts, application related accounts. Okay, certain applications we use certain accounts, and also for service related kind of stuff also it will be maintained. It is not showing now. It also not showing. This is a different kind of stuff. This is Kindle, HP. I don't know. Okay. So this is the place you can check the credential manager. You can remove the credentials or add the credentials there. Yeah, no problem. Just leave it about it. These are the minimum requirement kind of stuff. Guys, different features are introduced from 2012 to 2019. There are a lot of futuristic changes are happens in a Hyper-V. So that we will discuss. One of the feature is shielded virtual machines is one of the feature. This feature is used to protect your virtual machines from attacks. Okay, so like that. Yeah, that's it, guys. And next one is here. It is how much RAM is required to for installing Hyper-V. How much RAM is required? How much is already there?
2 GB.
2 GB already there. So what I'm trying to do is, first of all, look at here. This is already 2 GB is there. Processor is 1. So this check mark is there. It means virtualization is enabled for my virtual machine. Because I can't able to show you anything in a physically. So I will show you in a virtually. So this is the check mark. And already added a 3 lines. I already added a 3 lines. This is another feature. It is like a IOMMU, IO memory management unit. Okay, so that is I'm not checking anyway. This check mark adding a hypervisor 3 lines in your VMX file. That is also will give you virtualization. People who are not done at this check mark are not adding the 3 lines, they won't get a virtualization in the PC. So I'm going to 4 GB RAM. So because of I'm going to install Hyper-V in it. Guys, for presently, I just turn on the virtual machine. Then we'll take a break. In the next part, I will show you how to install. Again, installation will take time. Now, the starting will take time. Again, it will take 5 minutes time. Again, installation time. Okay. So this is the basic details. So I will show you remaining things after break. So 10 minutes break, 11:30, be back.